to the side. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being with us this morning and kicking your year off on the right note. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Art Tolis as he talks about goal setting this morning at our Success Factor program. Art is the owner of Tolis Mortgage Financial Group, licensed in 5 states, and also owner of Snap Fitness, Fountain Hills Fitness Center. Art has served on the Fountain Hills Town Council and is a former board director of the Scottsdale Association of Realtors and former chair of your Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce, where he previously served as board director and treasurer. With credentials like Art's, it's easy for us to see that it takes a little planning and goal setting to get where one wants to be. Goal setting and accomplishing goals in life has always been a fascinating topic to Art. Understanding the psychology behind the mental process, in Art's opinion, is the key to long-term success in achieving your goals. In this Success Series program, Art will touch on the mental processes of brainwashing yourself to achieve your dreams. Art will discuss goal setting and will inspire you to take away a tip or two to help you get where you want to go in 2024. Everyone, please welcome Art Tolis.
Thank you very much. And I want to recognize Heather, my wife, this crew that already knows her, but she is also 100% part of this program. And really what we're trying to do is to brainwash you to be successful this year in all aspects of your goal setting. So this morning I'm going to go through something that I put together, how I got in this chair and why I'm doing this. I'm honored to do it, but I'm not a renowned author. I'm not someone who has had anything published on goal setting. It's just Art Tolis from Fountain Hills, Arizona. I own a couple businesses here. I'm a graduate of Syracuse University with business and sociology minor, and I'm a graduate of the University of Washington Pacific Coast Banking School and master's certificate in banking. So that's who I am, and I came here at Fountain Hills in 2002, fell in love with the community, and have been engaged ever since, one way or another. One correction, I was never the chair, as you will be the chair coming up for the Chamber of Commerce. I was on the board back in 2004 through 2007 when Frank Ferrara was CEO, and I was the treasurer when this building was paid off. So that is as far as I have been. I wasn't the chair. I was on town council, and that was fun too. So, psychology of goal setting and brainwashing. I hope you get something out of this, and I hope that what you take out of this, you share with people, and maybe you're going to get a new perspective on who I am and my thinking and what I believe. Foundation of success. Of all the reading that I've done on goal setting, I think that everyone has a certain number of buckets that they should have goals established for. Okay? A lot of people you talk to, they don't have any established goals. And really, honestly, and I'm guilty of this myself, you get into the routine of you're going day in, day out, and you're continuously having the mundane, almost Groundhog Day. Every day you're waking up and you're thinking, what am I going to accomplish today? How am I going to get there? And maybe not looking at the big goals. So here are 5 categories that I think are very important to look at yourself. And again, I'm no expert, and I'm just sharing from my perspective what I think would be helpful, and you can take it for your life and what you're going to do. Your health, okay? God and spirit, okay? Whatever your beliefs are, whatever your denominations are. I tried to keep this a little bit neutral. I didn't know what the crowd was, and I didn't know whether we were presenting at 200 people at the community center either, so I didn't know who we were talking to or what it was, but I don't want to insult anyone. But God, spirit, everyone has that belief internally of what you believe in a higher power, hopefully. Family, spouse, children, in that order. Friends, relationships, work, and what's your passion. Okay? So that's the broad 5 that I think are important, that I think would be helpful for anyone who's trying to establish goals right now and doesn't know where to go with it. In each one of these categories, of course, these are big categories. And then you have to individually think about, what am I trying to accomplish, or what would I like to accomplish? So if it's health, maybe you're a little bit overweight, maybe you have high blood pressure, maybe you've got cholesterol issues, maybe you have joint issues. Whatever it may be as you get older, maybe one of the goals would be to attack that. And how are you going to do that? And then you break it down, right? You ever see I think in my own mind, I'm trying to help you visualize too, but you think about like if you're at the NCAA tournament brackets, right? And you have all of these outskirts lines coming into this center, who's the champion, right? Well, that goal of whatever category you're in, that's that champion. But don't forget all the things that are connected to get to that goal. And they're broken down into very small pieces that each day, no matter what you're doing, if you can mentally brainwash yourself to be thinking every time you're doing something that, is this one of the goals, is this contributing to one of the goals that I have set for myself? And each time you do that and you brainwash yourself to be thinking of those little bitty things you're doing, to me, and I'm only sharing how my mind works, and maybe it's how other people's minds work too, is when you start to do those little things and you start to accomplish each one of those little things, you're not thinking anymore, this is a mundane task. You're not thinking anymore that this is something that I'm wasting my time doing. Okay? So that's something that for me I struggle with. I'm like, why am I doing this right now? But if I think, and I tell myself, you know what? This is a really smaller piece of a bigger goal. And I'll give you an example, and I'm not just looking to get points with my wife. But if I'm in the kitchen and there's some dishes there, I'm not walking by the dishes. I'm going to try to do them, and I'm going to do them without saying anything, just do them. If I'm in the bathroom and I see things on the counter that need to be picked up, everything has its place. So as part of goals, and I know I'm going down a little bit of a rabbit hole, but all these little things and being organized in detail, clear your energy fields. You ever hear about that? You ever talk about that? The vibrations, the energy fields? Do that with every one of your goals as you go forward. So let me give you, and listen, I love what this morning was. It's not plagiarism, it's inspiration. So, you know, some of this stuff is not unique, and some of this stuff is not art Tolis. Okay? So I'll give credit where credit is due with a couple of videos. But let's you all have your paper here. If you don't specify what you want, you won't get it. If you do specify what you want and you're willing to make the sacrifices to get it, the probability that you will get it expands immensely. This assumes that what you want are within the bounds of appropriate reason, but you could also dream big, and there's always the possibility that that will work. Okay? Does anyone know who said that? Anyone know where this comes from? Okay. You will find out. What does your life, this is an exercise, and this is not something that we're going to probably accomplish this morning, or you're going to be accomplishing this morning. We have about 45 minutes, but you may. So, really it comes down to, what does your life look like in 4 years? And I'm looking around this room saying to myself, I know most of you pretty well, and you're all established, you've all accomplished a lot already. So I say to myself, why are you here? Right? And maybe it's because the goals that you've set, you're achieving what you're achieving, but have you set out for that one big one, right? But you can also dream big. There's always a possibility to work out. So I think in general, most people don't have the big goal, the goal that scares the hell out of you. The goal that if you put it on paper and you're like, I am so afraid to put it on paper because I'm so afraid of failure that I'm not going to put it on paper. Those are the goals that will help you and all of us, and in my opinion, and again, I'm not preaching to you, I'm sharing my thinking. If you don't put that type of goal on your vision board, on your goals for your different categories, what's the big audacious goal that you're going to go after, you're not going to grow. If your goals are too small, you're not going to grow. Because what's happening is you're putting a goal on that you're not afraid to fail, so you know you're going to put it on because you can do it. Put your goals, in my opinion, on a stretch, something that's really going to challenge you. Welcome to the youngsters of the room. What's the affiliation? You all came together.
Zero reasons.
Where's Zero Reasons?
Huh?
Where's Zero Reasons?
It's a band.
The band.
We're gonna perform after this.
That's right. Now they're gonna perform at the Super Bowl. Okay? So, this is an exercise that you should try to work on now in the next couple of days. But let's be honest with yourself and fill in. Now, you say to yourself, okay, what do I want my life to look like in 4 years? Be honest with yourself and fill in all the weaknesses, inadequacies, bitterness and resentment, sinful tendencies, and imagine you don't address those issues. Okay? I put a little asterisk here, health, God, spirit, because I think that sentiment and that goes to your mental health and your God/spirit in regards to what is your compass, moral compass. And is your moral compass off to the point where the goals that you're setting out for yourself will not be achieved because of the fact you're going to trip over the issues that you're dealing with yourself? Now this is hard, and I prefaced it, I shared this with Heather. She thought it was a little rough, but it's true. Which little corner of hell will you be occupying in the next 3 to 5 years if you don't change what you need to change in your life to help you to get to your goals? Whether that, let's say, is health, and you know you have a heart condition, but you continue to overeat, you continue to put things in your body that are not good for you. Whether it's your family, and you know that the quality time you have to spend with your family, you're going to have to give up some things that are your things, right? Maybe it's you like the tap house, okay? Maybe it's I like voting, okay? You gotta make sure that you're willing to, and I'm not saying it's sinful to be at the tap house for voting, by any means, but you understand what I'm saying. Selfishness and self-centeredness is also something that everyone needs to look at and determine whether or not that's going to stop them from their goals. Their goal might be, I want great relationships with my family. Well, that's going to require sacrifice with something else that you might want to do selfishly. Not achieving your goals would be your biggest disappointment. I don't know if you've ever heard any lecturer, I have heard many of them, and one in particular talk about the fact that when you have goals and you stop trying to reach your goals, one of the things they find with the elderly in the end of life, and they say, do you have any regrets? And they say, well, yeah, you know what, I wish I traveled more. I wish I had a better relationship with my son. I wish I had bought more investment property so I had a better estate for my family. All those things were likely thoughts during the lifetime that you continue to not focus on, and you ultimately get to the end of the path and you haven't achieved your goals. That's a regret you have, that's a regret people have, and that is not living up to all of your God-given potential. So having that respect, and that kind of goes into the spirit aspect of what are your priorities, okay? God, family, things of that nature. Now, everyone knows where they would go if they let themselves go. Now you have something to avoid, and you have something to strive for to reach your dreams. Believe and succeed. Everybody hears that, right? I grew up, my grandmother used to have me watch Hour of Power with Robert Schuller every Sunday morning. I believe I was brainwashed. At some point, my brain said, no matter what happens in this life, it's going to be okay, and you just press the reset button and start over, and you keep going, and you don't let anything hold you back, and you continue to strive to achieve and to be better every single day. Okay? Here's a little video I'm going to have you watch. Hopefully we have sound.
If you don't specify what you want, you won't get it. If
if you specify what you want and you want it, which means you're willing to make the sacrifices necessary to get it, then the probability that you'll get it expands immensely. Now, of course, it assumes that what you want is within the bounds of appropriate reason, let's say. But you could also dream big, and there's always the possibility that'll work out too. Then they write for 15 minutes, okay? Your life is the way you want it to be in 4 years. What does it look like? And then we have the opposite, which is, all right, take stock of yourself for a minute, with all your weaknesses and inadequacies and bitternesses and resentments and sinful tendencies, let's say. Now imagine that you let all of that go. Which little corner of hell would you occupy in 3 to 5 years? Why don't you write about that? And everyone knows where they go if they let themselves. And so then you have something to avoid, and you have something to strive for.
So when and that's Dr. Jordan Peterson, and I do listen to him, and I respect many things that he says, okay? That's where that whole initial presentation kind of comes from, and it gives you perspective of, and you have to listen to it a couple of times, because when he says, if you let that stuff go, okay? What he's saying in that is not if you let that stuff go, as in, with the way that I took it originally, was you let that stuff go, you release it from your life. But what he's really saying is, you ignore it. Okay, did y'all pick that up? So it's saying if you ignore the things, and I just, there's many things that happen, but whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, whether it's women, whether it's men for women, whatever it is, that's the sinful natures of your mind that take you potentially down a different path, you got to be careful with that stuff. You got to let that stuff go. And you let that stuff go, in my opinion, by taking care of your health, number one, okay? So God's Spirit, health. This is where your health, in my opinion, and Heather and I buying that gym, your number one objective is to take care of your health, mentally and physically. Because none of your goals, ultimately, are going to come to a fruition if you can't perform. And if you can't perform mentally, which means mental clarity, means staying off drugs and alcohol, meaning that you're eating properly, you have the proper nutrition. As you get older, and you kids don't have to go run to your doctor and get blood work like we do, but every 6 months getting your blood work done, analyzing, making sure you don't have any markers that are red flags, okay? Keeping your weight under control so you have the energy and the stamina, and you have the get out of bed and you're literally jumping out of bed in the morning rather than it's another day, right? If you're that, it's another day, your goals are not big enough. Your health needs to be a priority. Without it, as I say, mental and physical, you will not have the energy, vibration, positive mental clarity, and confidence to achieve your goals and dreams. What will this require? Diet and exercise, getting a physical and having your blood work completed, addressing any injuries, limitations, and getting proper care to help you improve. Establishing new habits and routines. Habits and routines are the key to long-term success for all goals. I recently read, and I read a lot, and I know I'm guilty, and maybe this is a good thing, bad thing, I don't know. But this phone has turned into a book. This phone has turned into a connection to people. It is addictive for all of us, I think. But if you're addicted to the right things, like positive, motivational, inspirational information that is valid and true, then this is not a bad thing. It's no different than picking up a book and reading the power of positive thinking, okay? Richest Man in Babylon. I mean, there's books, you can name them, that you should be reading. You can read them on your phone. Go to the top 10 motivational books. Find them, read them, study them. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay, all of those books will help you with all those different goals. Now, this is a big one. And I think it's very important, and I don't want to insult anyone, and I don't want to offend anyone. My wife and I are spiritual people. We believe in Jesus, we are Christians, and we believe there's a lot of power that comes from putting God first in your life.
Amen.
So who you believe, how you believe, what you believe, that higher power that you have, and the respect you need to have for that, and the rules of the game, and to treat your body like a temple, you have to keep reminding yourself of. And I forgot that for a long time. And I had a come to Jesus moment with myself. Okay? So I think this is very important. Your relationship and honor to God will help you achieve your goals. How? Well, because when you have that honor and relationship, and you ask for what you want, and you're sincere, and you know what it's going to take to get it, if it's within reason, and if it's an honorable request, and you work hard enough, you can achieve anything you want in this life. It just takes dedication, focus, determination, all of those attributes that every successful person on the planet is going to tell you is required. Prayer and meditation, focus, reading, spiritual and motivational material. It's very critical what you're putting in and what you're retaining every day, and making sure that it's healthy, and making sure that it's adding to you so that you can accomplish your goals. Your mental health is what this is all about. So not only do you have physical health, and you're going to go do push-ups and sit-ups, your mind and your soul need to be right. Share another video with you.
Number one, put God first. Put God first in everything you do. Everything that you think you see in me, everything that I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and I have a few things, everything that I have is by the grace of God. Understand that. It's a gift. 40 years ago, March 27, 1975, it was 40 years ago, just this past March, I was flunking out of college. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I hope none of you can relate. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I was sitting in my mother's beauty shop. They still call it beauty shop now? What do they call it now? Yeah, I was sitting in the beauty parlor. I was sitting in my mother's beauty parlor, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I see behind me this woman under the dryer. And every time she looked up, every time I looked up, she was looking at me, just looking me in the eye. And I didn't know who she was, and I said, she said, somebody give me a pen, give me a pencil, I have a prophecy. March 27, 1975, she said, boy, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Now mind you, I was flunked out of college. I'm thinking about joining the army. I didn't know what I was going to do, but she's telling me I'm going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Well, I have traveled the world, and I have spoke to millions of people. But that's not the most important thing, the success that I had. The most important thing is that what she taught me and what she told me that day has stayed with me since. I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. I've kept God in my life, and it's kept me humble. I didn't always stick with him, but he always stuck with me. So stick with him in everything you do. If you think you want to do what you think I've done, then do what I've done. And stick with God. Number two, fail big. That's right. Fail big. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life, and it can be very frightening. It's a new world out there. It's a mean world out there. You only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances professionally. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test was 9 dots. And you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. I try to give myself a goal every day. Sometimes just to not curse somebody out. Simple goals, but have goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline, which you've already done, and consistency every day, not just one Tuesday and this a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. And in this text, tweet, twerk world that you've grown up in, remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Remember that. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress. My mother told me, she said, yeah, because you've been running plays all the time and never get anywhere. So continue to strive, continue to have goals, continue to progress. Number 3, you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. I'll say it again. You'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. I don't care how much money you make, you can't take it with you. And it's not how much you have, it's what you do with what you have. We all have different talents. Some of you will be doctors, some lawyers, some scientists, some educators, some nurses, some teachers. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to keep going just for the sake of time.
The feeling that I get is
And then we have
helping others. Nothing's better than that. Not jewelry, not...
So that video you can find online, and that's a great video. Has anybody seen it before?
Yes.
So I thought it was very appropriate, and it really kind of hits a number of the topics that we're discussing today. Okay, what's your why? This is something that I felt was very important when you're setting these goals for yourself, is what motivates you. Because if you set a goal that it doesn't really motivate you, doesn't really move you, the likeliness of having the energy you need to make it happen is going to be significantly less than you have a goal and you have a dream, you have something that you have a burning desire to achieve. Sports is a great pastime for people, especially when you're looking at the best of the best, like the Michael Jordans of the world, okay? If you haven't studied some of these great athletes, I listened to Michael Jordan's coach, and he talked about all of the steps that Michael Jordan took to be the best that he was, the best basketball player of all time. He literally didn't make his high school basketball team. And a lot of people don't realize that, how much he put in to achieving what he achieved. And then you look at the influence that he's had positively in many aspects of life in general, for many being a role model. Who do you want to be a role model for too? So is it you do it for yourself, but if you do it for someone else, you don't want to disappoint someone. You don't want to disappoint. When I was growing up, I didn't want to disappoint my grandmother. So every time I was thinking about doing something, I was like, if I get in trouble, my grandma's really going to be mad, right? She bought me a moped. I better respect that, right? But these are the things that you think about and what's going to be motivating you to continue the why. Desire for more freedoms, travel experiences. This kind of ties into the work goal and why do you work. I don't know if you've anyone ever heard of Zig Ziglar before, okay? But the more people you help in this world, the more successful you're going to be. So those are the things that I say, desire for more freedoms, travel, experiences. Well, we live in a capitalistic society. Okay? Making money, earning money is going to provide you with more freedoms in this world and more opportunity to share with others. So the desire, if freedom is one of those, then earning a living and finding something you're passionate about that you can help as many people as possible, and you can earn money by doing that, is worthy and should get you out of bed earlier. Determining what your why is and what your passion is will help you focus and achieve your goals. Each day you have to remind yourself, we have to remind ourselves each day why we keep pushing ourselves to perform a little better. 1% improvement daily. Okay? I don't know if anybody's ever heard that. There's an actual book on that, 1% every day. So that every day when you're doing things and you're trying to improve, whether it's, I have certain goals myself. One of them is trying to keep our yard up so it's really nice, so that we go out there and it's a relaxing sanctuary type of thing, Well, if every day I'm out there at 1%, I'm trimming that one bush a little bit better than I did the last time, or I'm planting that, in your mind, that's how you're getting some satisfaction and fuel. Right? That fuel that I've accomplished. Have you ever seen a video on the Navy Admiral that speaks in regards to making your bed in the morning? Those little tasks every single day that become routine, that become a pattern. You make your bed every day. You make sure that you eat properly every day. You make sure that you're exercising every day. And every one of those goals that you're adding a little bit, and that's where I was talking about the mindset of brainwashing yourself, because every little thing you're doing, just remember those big goals. So that if I've got to organize a shed, then I know that once I organize that, it's going to make it easier for me to get the rest of the landscaping done, and I'm going to feel better about the environment and clearing that space and that energy field, which I believe to be true. Okay? If you ever try to work in a dirty office versus a clean office, and see how your mind processes what you're doing. All my life, I was told I have ADHD. Okay? In the 70s, I was put on Ritalin. Okay? And then I told my mom, I gotta take this, I don't want to take this anymore. I'm going down to the office with all these other kids. Everybody's on Ritalin. I mean, it was like you lined up to get your pill. That was the 70s, early 70s. I mean, I don't know, did anybody experience that? Anybody else a victim like that? That's why I'm only 5'6". I was supposed to be 6'2". Something happened. I'm going to sue that company. So, all kidding aside, you have to focus and I lost my train of thought joking around with you. Reward yourself and be proud of yourself. Become your #1 cheerleader in life. I think that's really important too. I think every day you have to think back and say, okay, what did I accomplish and how did I improve today? And give yourself some credit and don't be so hard on yourself. Because being hard on yourself is a component, in my opinion, of depression. So depression is real. And depression is only fought by that positive brainwashing of your mind. And depression, I'm not a doctor, okay, so don't take anything wrong that I'm saying. Don't take it like, I'm speaking from what my perspective is. Depression is a condition that is highly medicated. And the best medication could possibly be loving yourself and not being so hard on yourself. Reward yourself and be proud of yourself. Become your #1 cheerleader in life. Pay attention to who is encouraging you and who is not. Surround yourself with positive, encouraging people. Why? Because iron sharpens iron. If you're hanging around with people that are continuously discouraging you, that are continuously telling you your dreams are unattainable and you're not going to make it, you need to stop hanging around with those people. Or you need to try to encourage them a little bit more, because what I find is the people that are the most critical or negative are the ones that are truly not loving themselves. Because iron sharpens iron. The healthier you are, the healthier you can be to someone else. Healthy people encourage, promote, inspire other people. They don't pull other people down. Do you like videos? I love these guys that are doing videos because it helps me because they speak it a lot better than I do. So you're going to have another video. Warning. Proverbs. I talk about iron sharpening iron. The Bible, and I again don't want to offend anybody, has amazing wisdom. And here's one of the Proverbs that I think is appropriate for becoming the best version of yourself and hanging around with the people that will help to sharpen you. Okay? Like my wife helps to sharpen me, and I give you credit for that, because it's true. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. This simple statement has been calling for all these years to understand that no one is alone. That to make yourself better, there's a mutual benefit in making others better through mentorship, followership, and leading. Followership meaning that don't be embarrassed to reach out to someone who has more success than you. Because most of the time, the people who have the most success are the ones that are most willing to help you. Because they're healthy, they're mentally healthy, and they've put the determination in to get to where they are. So reach out to those people, and I bet you're going to receive a lot of wisdom from them as well. Be disciplined. How much time do I have? Be disciplined. What does discipline mean? Practice of training yourself to control behavior. The more you control behavior, to create behavior to be a habit and a routine, and is in line with your goals, the more likely you are going to be to achieve those goals. So, give you an example. Whether it's your spiritual and the relationship you have with yourself, your spirit, with God, meditating every day. Focusing, if you're a Christian, you're reading the Bible. If you're any other religion, you're focusing on the things that are positive, that are going to help you to be a better person in this world and to be a better person to others. And that's going to help you achieve your own goals. Be disciplined in your health. If you know that you should be working out 45 minutes a day, enjoying Snap Fitness in Fountain Hills, and working out 3 to 5 times a week, that there is no excuse. Okay? You stop making excuses. If you can't get to the gym, fall on your knees and start doing some squats, start doing some push-ups, start doing some jumping jacks in place. Do whatever it takes to get your exercise in every day and stretch it. Not only your body physically, but your mind mentally. Focus on the activities or experiences that provide mental and physical training. You understand that? I reiterate that. Focus on improving your routine and be disciplined to the smallest details. You know, our son Reagan just went to the military, into the Navy. These disciplined routines that the military instills on these soldiers and sailors is not by accident. And it helps to reprogram your mind and brainwash your mind to do what you need to do every single day to get to that next level of discipline. Without discipline, your goals are unachievable. Now, another video for your pleasure.
The person you will be in 5 years is based on the books you read and the people you hang around with today. This is quite true, but it applies to everything else as well. The person you will be in the future is based on everything you do today, the people you hang around with, but more so the people you listen to, the opinions you believe, the books you read, or the videos you watch. All the information you take in, positive or negative, will affect your future. The workouts you do or don't do, that will show up in the future. The foods you eat today will affect your future on a visual and energy level. The same is true with your thoughts and information. What you feed your mind will shape your future. If all you do is take in garbage, guess what your future is going to be made up of? Commit to feed your mind with successful thoughts and surround yourself with those who have the same ambition. It doesn't matter where you get your information from. You may read, you may get it from podcasts or video. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you keep feeding your mind every day.
In closing, I have not asked you what your goals are. I don't know whether you were coming here and today was the day you were going to establish your goals for the rest of the year. But I hope what you take out of this morning is how important it is to set your goals. I hope I gave you a little bit of a foundation of where you can go with this, and you can understand, and then you know where Snap Fitness is, and you know where Tolis Mortgage Financial Group is. I can help you with your finances as well. All kidding aside, the scariest place to be is in the same place as last year. Think about that. The scariest place to be is the same place you were last year, and you haven't achieved anything. And the reason why you haven't achieved anything is because of all of those attributes that we just went over that you haven't embraced. And the more you love yourself, the more you focus on your goals and yourself and your purpose and your whys, the more achievement you're going to have in life. And I hope next year we come back here and that this morning had an influence on some of you and hopefully all of you. And that next year you're going to say, that was one of the best little meetings I went to, and it inspired you to be great this year. So thank you.
Well done, Art. Thank you so much. Could everyone do me a favor and indulge me a moment for a photo? Can you all kind of squeeze in around our educator today? Thank you, Mr. Tolis, for your education today. That was fantastic. I love this kind of stuff though. Right up my alley. I could listen to this all day. Deputy Clayton, get it in. I know you did. That's okay. I'm such a pretender. Okay. Oh, that is nice. True. Awesome. All right, thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
So you have 10 minutes to network, use the bathroom, grab a water before we have our next speaker. Or ask our questions, what have you. You have 10 minutes. Well, maybe 9 minutes. Yeah, 9 minutes. 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Sorry.
Does anyone have any questions?
Well done.
Thank you.
What are your goals? What's your big
Special membership.
Well, my number one goal is in those boxes that I just shared: spiritually, God, family, health, my relationships with my family, business, and continuing to expand the mortgage company, and for the health and fitness, to get as many people in this community healthy, and to establish some programs that encourage people to come in that may never have worked out before, and get them started and get them healthier, so that our community becomes what's considered a blue zone. And that's something that we have been talking about, is to establish that blue zone in Fountain Hills, and that's having a community of vibrant, happy, successful, healthy people, both mentally and physically. How about yours? Let's go around the room. You got something while we get a shot?
Health is always top. Fitness, eating right, all that jazz. I guess that's all in health. Business, help as many people as I can get more speaking opportunities. Always spiritual. I mean, it's all there. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Excellent. Anyone else want to share?
My goal would probably be to fulfill your goal. I want myself to grow very much.
Excellent.
Yay, that's awesome.
Excellent. I'm glad you're here.
When you were talking about books you read, the one I read it maybe 4 years ago. I don't even know anymore. The 5 O'Clock Club. Life changing.
You still do it?
I absolutely do.
Wow.
So it's get up at 5 a.m., go directly and work out, then do your meditation, then eat breakfast. I mean, and so I had to, it was really hard because I'm a stay up late, sleep in late. I mean, I used to be. But if you're going to get up at 5 a.m., and honestly, it is the best time of day. The very best. And so now I'm like 8:30, I'm heading to bed. You know, unless it's leaving. But the 5 o'clock club, bar none, the biggest changer of my life.
That's great.
I mean, and I read, as you, I actually do paper books.
One of the books let's talk about books if we can, but one of my life changers that I loved was the 10X rule by Grant Cardone. Read it?
Yeah, I read it, I spoke for his conference.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Yes, I was at a tennis.
How, you actually spoke at his conference?
Yes, I did, because
That's
of
fantastic.
Cardone, yes.
That's great.
What was your topic?
Business consulting, so we were 10Xing consultants, so.
Sweet. Wow.
Yes, actually have mentored him, Elena Kidron, Damon John, Vivica Fox, Gary Vaynerchuk. Yes.
That's
When
fantastic.
are you presenting to the chamber?
I actually work with and for Zero Reasons, so we actually get to meet and coach people, so they are training up the next generation.
Excellent.
Exciting.
If you want to know more, absolutely want to yell.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's my mom. Like, that's obvious. Don't play me. Don't play me 10 times over. Yes, I love Grant Cardone. He actually has a building here in Harlem Capital in Scottsdale now. Yeah, so he has traveled in about 3 or 4 times this year alone, and we're only on day 4. So yeah.
Excellent.
He's currently going to be in town probably the 2nd of January. Again, yes. He's phenomenal.
Any other books? Anybody want to throw out there?
Atomic Habits.
Atomic
Habits, phenomenal. And it talks about those little tiny, if you're starting something and you say, you know, okay, I'm gonna make 1 call a day, and someone says, that's it. But if you're making 1 call a day every day, okay, the build-up, the consistency is better than thinking, oh, I gotta do 7 calls today. You don't wanna do it. But if you gotta do 1,
It's like he's talking about the 1%.
yep.
Yeah, The Third Door, Alex Boehner.
Third Door.
Third Door, phenomenal book. And you were speaking on your son, the one that just joined the military Navy. I'm trying to remember his name. I'm pulling up the Kindle book right now.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh my god.
I know what
Phenomenal
she's
book.
talking
When I pull up his name, we'll all kind of be like, I just have to open my account. So.
Yeah.
David Goggins.
Dave Goggins, yes.
Sick.
Yeah, he's
Can't hurt
fantastic.
me. Can't hurt.
That's, his audio books are fantastic.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can listen to the audio books.
Yes, phenomenal.
What was the David Goggins one?
Can't hurt me. Can't hurt me. Listen to it and then read it. I know it sounds like counterintuitive if you're a reader like us. But listen to it because it adds more stuff. Yeah,
See,
more stuff.
when you do audio, you can get your fitness in.
Oh.
Exactly. You can be doing, you can be doing landscaping and listening to your podcast.
That's definitely the one we need to find out. Oh, you own Snap Fitness.
Yeah.
My dad made me listen to this podcast. Inspired.
I love the shameless plugs.
My dad got me listening to this podcast. It's by a Dallas Cowboy, Michael Parsons.
Okay.
He's a defensive back, and he talks about how how he motivates himself and how sometimes motivation is kind of like fake. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
Whether it's like you're trying to get in shape, you feel like, oh, I'm fat, I'm not motivated to work out. Just work out.
Yes.
Talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it, right?
That sounds familiar.
I know. Oh, thanks.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Art, will you send me your slides? We'll add them to the video. It'll be, we're going out of town tomorrow. So it'll be a couple weeks before we see the video.
Where are you off to next?
We are